Good evening, guys. Good morning. Good evening. It's 12 a.m. on the dot. I'm Ryan alongside Caleb here. Go and bring Caleb in. Let's get our faces on here. We are joined today by our chaser out of Michigan, Chandler. He is in the Illinois area. He has just now entered the latest tornado warning here on the cell. It's really beefy here in the Greenville area. This is his dot right there. And this is going to be moving up his direction very quickly here. This is going to be a tornado warning that's radar indicated for Illinois. We are live here on Great Lakes Storm Chasing Network. We'll be live here on Indiana Storm Chasing Network momentarily, but also focused on Michigan when the time comes, if the time comes for Michigan. So kick back with us. It's midnight. We're going to be on here probably all night streaming. So join us as we do so. We're going to be with Chandler here in the field. Have him live up here. Again, he is in Illinois, southern Illinois to be exact, near the town of Vandalia, in a tornado warning here on the cell moving to the northeast here. So let's rock and roll, guys.
Yep, right now the area of strongest rotation is just to the south and east of Pocahontas, right around State Road 143, outside the Tamalco region, Pleasant Mound, just southwest of you guys, and has a decent hook on radar. Again, rotation still kind of getting its act together via radar, but again, there's an abundance of wind shear in the area tonight with suitable instability as well. Definitely favorable for tornadoes in southern Illinois here tonight. So we'll have to watch this very closely. Again, rotation has increased on radar over the past few minutes here. Again, a wall cloud has also been reported by Chandler on this storm as well. Which is not surprising on radar. So again, something we're going to have to watch here very, very closely. Again, this is just to the south of the Greenville area. Probably have some hail that moved through Pocahontas, moving into Pleasant Mound here as the core of the store is moving right up I-70 towards Mulberry Grove with the area of rotation just to the south, right around 143 in 127 in Illinois.
Caleb, do you have your screen share available and ready?
Yeah, let me get that pulled up here for you. Get my radars up here.
Yeah, go ahead and get that ready. We're going to tag team this. So for those of you just joining in, Caleb, I'm probably going to go ahead and connect Indiana here in a few minutes as we're getting close to the Indiana border here pretty soon.
Yeah, sounds great.
So we'll go ahead and start our coverage here for Indiana. And again, once Michigan goes live, we'll jump over and cover Michigan as well. So no worries there for you Michigan folk. But right now, the threat and with this line of storms, it is weakening as of right now, which is what was expected. As you see, though, these warnings continue. All the yellow boxes, excuse me, are for severe thunderstorm warnings for 70-mile-per-hour winds for pretty much all of these, which is a considerable warning. So I think all up and down this line is 70-mile-per-hour winds. Further south here, we have isolated cells here that are kind of discrete in nature by themselves. That's going to be your highest tornadic threat here. But along this line, through central Illinois and for western Indiana, we're going to be looking at mainly a wind threat here as expected, but also wouldn't rule out a couple tornadoes as a possibility, especially with this line moving very rapidly off to the northeast here. So we're going to watch this very closely, and we'll be tracking this all throughout the evening, Indiana and Michigan both.
Yep, again, the main hazard with these line of storms is damaging winds, 60 to 75 miles per hour with some of these stronger storms, as well as isolated tornadoes. And this goes all the way through Indiana as well. Multi-hazard night. And again, we do have a tornado warning right on the I-70 corridor in southern Illinois, just outside the Greenville area as well. Again, the strongest area of rotation is just to the south of I-70. Just to the west or east rather of Pocahontas, moving northeast at, I believe, 60 miles an hour. Again, this is also warned for golf ball size hail. So again, if you're in the Vandalia area, right along the I-70 corridor, again, pretty large hailstones associated with this supercell as it's moving east-northeast at 50 miles per hour as of the latest advisory. Again, radar indicated rotation here. Radar indicated tornado and golf ball sized hail. Again, this is for Bond County, northeastern Clinton County, Fayette County, and northern Marion County in southern Illinois. Again, moving right along the I-70 corridor here. We do have chasers on the ground on this storm. Chandler is in position there. You can see the lightning there out his windshield there.
These storms have had a history of producing severe wind gusts as well as very large hail. But also, we've seen a couple tornadoes, some of which are large in nature across the Missouri area. That was expected with this evening's threat, as we had that significant tornado threat, some of which could be strong in nature. Wouldn't be shocked tomorrow to find out we had a couple EF2 plus tornadoes across Missouri so far. We still could see some across Illinois. We could actually see some across Indiana as well, especially down by the Vincents and Evansville area. We'll be watching that area very closely for anything tornadic related. But for right now, the threat continues for central Illinois as this line of storms pushes through the state.
Yeah, but again, these storms are moving pretty fast too, moving east-northeast at 60 to perhaps 70 miles per hour at times. So again, very, very fast movement with these storms, with the strongest storms currently across southern Illinois, as expected. But again, the wind risk extends well north all the way towards the Chicagoland area, and these will be moving into southwest lower Michigan too, probably around the 1 to 2 a.m. time frame for Berrien County and points northeastward of there. But again, severe thunderstorm warnings all the way up to the Rockford, Illinois area, for Michelle, DeKalb, Ottawa. So again, these storms do have a history of producing damaging winds, and we will have to watch for a spin-up tornado risk along the leading edge of these, especially on the northern side, where the spin-up tornadoes could happen as well. Again, further to the south, again, more discrete cells. We'll have to watch those closely for tornadoes as well. There's a live look at Chandler here. He is near the Pleasant Mound area or Vandalia area in southern Illinois. He has eyes on this storm currently.
Let's go ahead and take him full screen there. Just let him ride. We'll be in the background here watching radar. So Chandler will be intercepting the storm, looking on radar here, trying to map this out. He's still about a good 10 miles or so away from the actual storm itself. Let's go ahead and actually get an exact track here. Let me see how far he is. He's actually about 10 miles or so away from the storm. So we got about probably, if we're tracking 60 miles an hour, it's about 10 to 15 minutes there before it gets to him. So we'll be looking at probably some good structure shots of this storm within the lightning here. So we're going to keep it right here. He's closing in on this particular storm. Again, this is going to be a tornado warning in southern Illinois. Radar indicated rotation as well as golf ball size hail. The counties included are going to be Bond, Clinton, Fayette, and Marion County in Illinois, and that goes until 11:30 p.m. Central Time. So about 22 more minutes out there.
Yep. And this storm is also warned for golf ball size hail, which is 1 3/4 inch diameter hail. So very large hailstones moving right along, if not just north of the I-70 corridor. Mulberry Grove, you're in the soup right now, probably getting some golf ball size hail moving towards the Vandalia area over the next few minutes. So again, golf ball size hail within the supercell as well. Again, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour, according to the latest advisory.
How bad do you think it will get tonight in lower Michigan? Not too bad. These should be dying. In fact, if you look on radar here, Caleb, we've lost a lot of organization with this line as well. I don't know if you noticed that. So it is weakening pretty significantly, although the warnings continue. We'll see if they extend these. But right now, we've lost a lot of our structure here. We'll see if that continues. Overall concern for Michigan is still there, although it's never been a very high concern. But again, I think that southwest corner of Michigan will have to watch that very carefully in the next 2 or 3 hours here as these storms continue to push northeast. But right now, we're losing a lot of our structural integrity to the northern part of this line here. But again, don't let it fool you. We have a lot of wind shear in the atmosphere today, and these storms are losing their instability, but the wind shear is going to be there all night long, which could crank these storms and crank out some severe wind gusts all throughout. So we'll watch it very closely. We'll have to keep an eye on how far those warnings get extended. All right, back on here to this storm. I'll go ahead and take my screen full here. We're going to go ahead and roll back onto where Chandler is. There is Chandler, his dot highlighted there, the green little dot you see. And here's the storm. We're seeing that hook on radar right here. That's your rotation. So he has a clear line of sight into the storm. He's in perfect position. And again, we're going to go right back to Chandler here. Actually, before we do that, take a look at the rotation here on radar. And again, not seeing too much here. in the way of a strong rotation. In fact, there's not really much of any signature to be concerned about on the latest scan. I don't know if that's a clutter scan or what, but let's go ahead and try a different scan. It's not loading very quickly for me for some reason. There we go. A little bit of rotation in there, but not too much. There might be a little bit up here, right about here. That's all I'm seeing right now. Nothing too eye popping right now. And I'm not sure if it's my internet or just Omega, but it is running a little slow.
Yeah, my velocity isn't loading on Omega right now. I just restarted it.
Interesting. Okay, might be a software
Radar
issue.
scope's working fine.
Yeah, so we'll have to switch over to different software here if this continues. We use Radar Omega a lot behind the scenes here for our broadcasting. It has a lot of good tools on it, but we also have backups, Radar Scope, also Gibson Ridge 2 we use a lot. So we have other tools at our disposal.
Yeah, a little bit of rotation now being picked up just to the north of the tornado warning, over by the town of Herrick in Ramsey. On that cell there, a little bit of rotation. I can see it. I guess not a lot there on, I guess Omega. I can see it better on Radar Scope, but
yeah, I figured. You have your scope pulled up. Actually, let's go ahead and take Caleb.
Yeah, I do.
Take Caleb full here. Now, our software, streaming software, has changed just a little bit with this particular setup. So if the screens are still the screens don't line up, just bear with us here. Go ahead, Caleb.
Yeah, again, here's your tornado warning here off to the south. Here's Pleasant Mound. Here's your area rotation, your tightest rotation right in here, just to the south of I-70. Vandalia is right in here. Mulberry Grove right here. Here's the I-70 corridor where the blue line is here. And here's your area of tightest rotation just to the south of the freeway there. You can kind of see where it's bulged out a little bit and where those colors meet. Correlates really nicely with your hook echo there. Just to the east of Pleasant Mound. Again, this is still radar indicated here. The tornado warning does go for another 17
minutes. New tornado warning
here
for that same cell we're just talking about. New tornado warning now in effect. Ping pong ball size hail, radar indicated rotation for the just north of Ramsey. You're looking at Cowden, Herrick, Shelbyville area.
Yeah. Yep, and there's the rotation here. You can see that hook echo. Again, this one's really in particularly dangerous just because it's rain wrapped. The rotation is embedded in the rain here. So you're likely not going to see a tornado if there is one on the ground. In fact, let me switch a product here.
Yeah, go to CC.
This is called, just because that's a pretty tight couplet there, just to the south of Herrick. Again, nothing real in particular there. Let me draw a circle there. Yeah, really hard to tell with clutter there. That could be wind, that could be hail. Nothing real definitive there. But again, very tight rotation getting picked up there just outside of Herrick, moving towards the Lakewood and Cowden areas south of Pana in southern Illinois, just to the north of where Chandler is. But again, very tight rotation there getting picked up on radar. Again, this is radar indicated ping pong ball size hail, 1.5 inch diameter hail. As we go down to the south here, again, we're farther away from the radar, so very hard to tell if there's anything on the ground there. Again, rotation looks to be weakening with that. You can kind of see how it has more of a bowed out nature to it. That's kind of the storm gusting out. So kind of going through a cycling process. We'll have to see if we get any, kinks in the line here where that storm re-intensifies. Go back to radar here. Yeah, you can kind of see the bowed out nature to it. How your hook echo is less pronounced, still a little bit of a notch, maybe right in there, or perhaps just to the south. But again, more of a bowed out nature to this supercell as it's gusting out, as that RFD is gusting out. As we go to the north here, very tight rotation near Herrick. You can see your inflow notch here. You can actually see the curvature of the rain bands as they're embedded, kind of a back end comma head there a little bit to this storm. So again, this is kind of a rain wrapped situation here. For this tornado warning in particular. In fact, I'm going to go back to correlation coefficient here. This is a tool that we use to differentiate things, and we might have something.
Yeah, we may have something there. Go ahead and circle that.
Again, this is a little bit behind here on CC. You can see your rotation here just to the north. With the next scan, if this moves with the radar here, or with the velocity signature, that would indicate a tornado in progress. Again, correlation coefficient is a tool that we use to differentiate things of different size in the air. This tool lets us see hailstones and anything that's not raindrops or in uniform size. So raindrops would appear purple, or anything with the same color, right? This is all rain, but whenever you have different colors or different objects of different size bouncing around, whether it's hailstones, debris, it will show up as blues and yellows here. And again, some of this is clutter, which is just distortion from the radars. The further away you are from the radar, the harder it is for the beam to detect raindrops versus, anything else in the air. But when you have a real definitive circle right in here, that correlates really well with velocity. Again, very hard to tell here. Maybe something right. Well, I'm in draw. That's why I can't zoom in. Maybe something right in here, perhaps, is where that dot maybe moved. But again, very hard to tell. Still radar indicated rotation here, but very tight rotation. So again, I would treat this as if there's a tornado on the ground. All right, and here's Chandler here. He's on the cell just to the south.
You're full. Caleb, I'm just putting in a registration key for GR2. I don't have it loaded on my new computer yet, so I'm going to get that up and running for the night.
Okay, my GR2 wasn't loading a few minutes ago.
Our stream is not every. Oh, I know.
Yeah, it looks like you have a lot of lightning there, Chan.
Yeah, we do. I have the wall cloud in view, but my camera's not working.
Okay, with that being said, while Chandler's getting his camera going, there we go. Yeah, great view there.
Oh, wow.
You can see the wall cloud right in front of him, almost a bit of a shelf cloud there too, but the wall cloud directly in front of him there. You can see the three probably security lights or barn lights there. The one in the middle of your screen there, just above that, what appears to be the wall cloud there. Again, very electric storm too. A lot of lightning with this. You can really get a good view of the structure. So very good position there, Chandler. And I believe he is looking north into this storm here. North and east.
Perfect. I got GR2 working now. We're good to go. It's not going to be formatted for the night, but we'll deal with it. GR2 has a much, much cleaner look on this.
Yeah, I'm not really getting much with CC. There's just so much clutter.
Let me go ahead and share my GR2. I like the way GR2 has this. It looks really clean over here.
Yeah, I do too.
So we'll run off GR2. Do I have my color table loaded in? I think I do. No, I don't. Let's go ahead and turn on aliasing. There we go. Yeah, check that out. That is some very, very strong rotation right here. Now, it kind of looks distorted just a little bit, but we have very, very strong inbound winds here and very, very weak outbound winds. When they kind of correlate there, you see that little spinny, little yellow circle there. That's the rotation of this mesocyclone, of the rotation, heading right for the Shelby area here, or Shelby County. Let's go ahead and turn on the cities so I can actually tell you guys where it's headed. Shelbyville, it's going to be headed toward Lakewood, Cowden, Windsor, Strasburg, and Findlay here in the next couple of minutes. Go ahead and take a 4-pane look at this. Get really confusing here. We're going to put radar in the top left. We're going to put velocity in the top right. We're going to put correlation, the debris tracker in the bottom right. We're going to put the updraft strength in the bottom left. So we're going to line this all up. And we have a donut hole now, Caleb. That is a
I do see that. You can really
hole.
see your rain bands there wrapping around your mesocyclone. Again, this is a rain-wrapped area of rotation as well. So you're not going to be able to see the tornado or wall cloud in that north storm. Chandler here has a good view of the base here on the southern storm, but you're not going to have that with the northern storm there.
Yeah, this is going to be moving into Shelby County here for the north cell. It's going to be in Fayette County, moving into Effingham for the southern cell. That is a beautiful, beautiful shot there from Chandler. Caleb, when do you want to roll the ISCN stream?
Once a warning gets, I guess, into the county that butts up to Indiana, we'll go ahead and start that. Looks like we're a county away. from the Indiana border. But once they extend the warnings to include state line, we'll go ahead and jump over.
Okay.
So due to the large wind threat and the fast moving of nature of these storms, they're issuing severe thunderstorm warnings well in advance of the main line to try to give you as much warning as we can. Again, a lot of these storms are moving east at 60 plus miles an hour. So these storms are moving very, very quickly. Yeah, really nice wall cloud there. You have a little bit of a tail cloud there, perhaps.
Yeah,
Yep, there's a good view of it.
That's building nice. That's nicely building. Holy cow.
Classic wall cloud there.
Again, this is going to be Southern Illinois from our chaser, Chandler. This is going to be Fayette County. Tornado warnings in effect here. It is radar indicated at this time, so it's not confirmed. You're looking at the interesting part of the storm. We call it the wall cloud. That wall cloud forms under a rotating updraft, and that's also where tornadoes will develop. So if there's going to be a tornado with this storm, it's going to be right in front of your screen here, on stream with Chandler.
Yep. And again, for those of you concerned, he is in a pretty safe position. This storm is moving to the north of him and moving away from him, so he is not directly in the path of this wall cloud here.
But also due to the fact that these storms are really fast moving, he's got to stay ahead as well. So he's going to probably shoot east. So he's facing north there. Now he's going to shoot east. He's going to reposition here momentarily, I assume. So we'll go ahead and take radar back and keep his feed up there above our heads. So we'll keep an eye on him for now. But for the time being, this is the storm that he is on. I do not have the spotter network layer here, but he's somewhere right about this general area looking at this storm right here. So this is going to be... That's actually getting a little bit tighter there, if I'm not mistaken there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it looks like it went through a cycling process there, perhaps. Starting to get a new hook on it as well. So,
Chandler, I'm sure you're aware, but your storm has really good velocity on it building. So if you guys we're communicating to Chandler on something called Zello, you guys may not be able to hear it through this streaming software, but we're kind of communicating behind the scenes together. So if we're just kind of talking to nobody, that's why. Let's go ahead and take back our Omega here. Tornado possible tag on that severe warning. That's to be expected. None of these warnings are confirmed tornadic wise, but a lot of these are confirmed for very large, not very large hail, but very strong wind gusts, 70 mile per hour wind gusts here. And they did extend that warning, those warnings, should I say, over into close to the West Chicago metro area, Aurora, Joliet, or is it Joliet or Joliet?
Juliet.
Just near the Morris area here in northern Illinois.
Yeah, and again, that has a considerable tag on it for 70 miles per hour winds. That's a significant wind threat up there, including the Juliet area, getting fairly close to the Chicago metro. Again, winds can sometimes be amplified when you go into a metro situation where wind is actually squeezed. You have increased pressure in between the buildings, so you can have increased wind gusts at the surface getting squeezed between buildings. So Chicago metro heads up over the next hour or two as these storms approach.
The color table has inverted itself. It's so strong.
Yeah, very strong rotation now for the Lakewood area, just to the north of Chandler's location. Still holding on. What's GR2 show on that in terms of CC? I'm very interested in that on the north side.
Go ahead and take our 4-pane. And of course, there we go.
Okay, yeah, you're seeing about the same I am on.
Yeah, it's pretty cluttered.
Pretty distorted.
Pretty cluttered.
I was hoping to see a little bit less clutter on GR2.
I mean, with this location, we're about 6,000 feet off the surface. So anything below that 6,000 feet mark, we're not going to see on radar, which is a limitation of weather radar. So we're going to go ahead and take a peek a little bit further north here, perhaps a little bit of a rotational signature here just south of Macon, or Macon. I'm not sure you guys pronounce it over there in Illinois. Over here in Michigan, we pronounce it Macon, but it also could be pronounced Macon.
Think bacon, but with an M.
But nice rotational signature here, a little bit of a hook velocity or a hook echo there as well. In fact, is that a CC drop by chance, or that doesn't line up, does it?
It doesn't line up. It's ahead of it.
Yeah, no. Okay, I was going to say, it caught my eye, but...
Yeah, look at the... Sorry to draw your attention back south, but...
Yeah, that's a very strong signature.
Very, very strong signature now for Lakewood.
150 mile per hour gate to gate there.
Yeah,
Caleb.
yeah, VROD is very high. again, I would not be surprised to see a tornado in progress here, or one getting ready to touch down. Again, very high velocity signatures here. Moving towards the Shelbyville area. If you're in Shelbyville, Illinois, be in your safe place right now. Basement, interior room, hallway, bathroom. You need to be in your safe place right now with that storm. Very, very tight velocity signature there.
Also goes for Tower Hill, Lakewood, Cowden, Herrick, Findlay, and Windsor. This is a radar indicated tornado warning, but a very, very strong rotational signature here on radar. Would not be shocked, as Caleb just said, if we have a tornado on the ground very shortly, if not already.
Yep. Again, with the radar being very high, it may take a few minutes to see that debris signature on radar.
Yeah.
But again, according to the velocity here, it is strong enough to be producing a tornado, if not already. Again, this is for Shelby County in central Illinois until midnight Central Time. And again, this tornado will also likely be rain wrapped. So you're not probably going to be able to see this tornado. Another reason to be in your safe place. Interior room, basement, hallway, stairway. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, and be in your safe zone there if you're in the Lakewood, Shelbyville area.
The wall cloud, we're going over to the next highway. I think it's 57 to get back on and go northeast.
Yeah, so Chandler is moving east to go north.
Yep. Again, these
So
storms are
basically-
moving very, very quickly. So our chasers in the field have to constantly reposition themselves to try to stay ahead of it the best they can before these storms catch up to them. So
A new warning has just been issued for the Effingham area. That's just further north. Or no, actually, that's extended. Radar indicated golf ball size hail as well. Also have a couple warnings down here to the south near Perryville, near Carbondale to be exact. Let's go ahead and take a radar down here by Paducah. These are more isolated in nature. These might be a little bit more in the way of strong tornado producers. Of course, it's a pretty strong wording to say, but these cells being by themselves, also a bit better environment with instability, would not be shocked to see a little bit more in the way of stronger tornadoes being a possibility with this one. Now, this one actually has a ping pong ball size hail tag on it as well. None of these are confirmed, though, as of right now, which is good news. All we're seeing is radar indicated rotation, but these storms have a history of producing very large hail as well as damaging winds and tornadoes through the state of Missouri. So we're taking this very seriously through the state of Illinois. That is an intense signature there.
hey, pull up GR2. We might have something on CC.
Which one?
Shelbyville. I want you to look at that on GR2.
Does it line up? 21. It's hard to set. I don't really see much anything there.
Okay.
I mean, it's so tight. I mean, again, there could be something on the ground there. I mean, the radar beam here, again, is about 4,000 feet off the surface.
I was looking
here's-
just to the right and ahead of it a little bit. A little bit of a deeper CC there. Again, it's hard to tell. We're really high
yeah,
up.
It's really cluttered to me. We'll
Okay.
see next scan here just to kind of get an idea of how
See
it
if
looks.
follows.
Yeah, but right now it's just so hard. But again, there could be something there. The radar beam at this location is 4,500 feet. So debris has to be lofted that high for us to see it. So very well could be debris underneath that 4,500 foot mark right now. Let's go ahead and take a look back here on our 2-pane. Having trouble loading the 4-pane. A lot of people using these products tonight. A lot of chasers out there, a lot of people watching along with us. So maybe bogging some of these servers down. Let's go ahead and check our CC now. Looks like the latest scan, Caleb, is pretty clear in nature. Although the velocity is just not updating for me on the right side.
No, it's not for me either. That could be just a radar product issue or connectivity issue. But again, treat it as if a tornado is on the ground. Again, very tight rotation. And a lot of times in these situations, these spin-up tornadoes can occur very, very quickly and with little to no warning as well. So treat it as if there's a tornado in progress always whenever a tornado warning is issued. Be in your safe place and be ready.
You know, the way this looks, Caleb, it almost looks like there was something on the ground there that kind of occluded north. If you look at
I
the
was
way
I was debating that. That's a little bit what I was referring to. But again, it was
Yeah.
very hard to tell with clutter on the CC. But it moved, though. That was intriguing to me.
Yeah, so usually when tornadoes touch down, when they weaken and lift, you'll see a little bit of a northward movement with it. We call it occluding. And we're kind of seeing a little bit on velocity top right of your screen here. The way that pink kind of jolts north there kind of makes us think that we could have something on the ground very briefly there that may have touched down kind of jolted north, and it kind of correlated on radar. So no debris ball, which is a little odd, but again, we'll see. Going over the towns again, Shelby, you are in direct path of this storm. So do take shelter in Shelby, also in Findlay, Windsor, Strasburg, Sullivan, Allenville, Mattoon. This is South Central Illinois. Also have a tornado warning now up here in the DeKalb area. This is a radar indicated warning. Take a look at the velocity here. Yeah, you can see a very QLCS-like nature. We have the line moving forward here. We have some inflow winds coming in. We can get some notching, as we call it, along this line where the reds and greens come together. The reds are inbound winds. The reds are out.
Green is toward the radar, and reds are away from the radar.
Reds
so
are
depending on where
outbound,
you're at,
greens,
they're
yeah.
inbound and
There you
outbound.
go.
So you have left moving and right moving is what Ryan is trying to say. Where those colors meet, that is your area of rotation. It's only 12:30, Ryan. Come on, man.
You know, I haven't had any sleep tonight either, so I'm doing this pure adrenaline. So Caleb, do you want to go ahead and do that now?
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and swap operations out of GLSCN into Indiana's account. So again, if you want to hop in there with us, feel free.
Nope, we're going to do it right from here, Caleb. We're going to do it right from here.
Right from here? Yep.
Yep.
Oh, so you guys don't go anywhere. Hang
Nope.
tight.
We will have to switch ops for Michigan, though. So keep
Yep.
that in mind. We're likely going to leave this stream running with radar. So we're going to try to cover you guys as much as possible with this stream, but Michigan takes our priority. For those of you watching from Michigan, you guys know that by now. So we'll be focused on Michigan if and when the time comes. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and switch over to Indiana ops as these storms approach. So this is going to be March 15th. March 15th. Give us 1 second to connect. All right. We are going to click connect. We're going to be involved here now with Can we update those all? I got to do them one by one.
Bear with us here as we make some changes here behind the scenes.
Yep, we are going to be switching over here momentarily. Just got to change the titles and stuff of the stream to make it make sense. And we should be connected now to Indiana.
Yeah, Janelle, strong winds are likely for the Chicago Metro here, probably over the next hour or so. Again, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for the Juliet area, just outside Chicago Metro. Again, that is for considerable damaging winds of 70 miles an hour. It expires here in 56 minutes. Storm motion is very quickly moving northeast at, let's see if I can get a stamp on that. Yeah, moving east at 40 miles an hour, so a little bit slower up there, but it could increase in velocity as well.
And in typical StreamYard fashion, we're failing to Facebook.
Of course.
We're going to try that again. Okay, we're live on ISCN.
All right, perfect.
And we're also live on GLSCN, so that reconnect worked.
All right.
Sorry, guys, if you're just joining us. Again, reconnected, had to connect and reconnect. A lot of software issues going on again. So we're back covering these storms across Illinois as they push toward Indiana. So feel free to join us as we cover these storms. Moving into the Indiana area here. Also, Going to cover Illinois for now and Michigan when the time comes for Michigan. So we'll be on here for a little while. If we have to pop out to cover Michigan, we'll leave the radar running. We'll come back if need be, as we can. For right now, though, this risk is pushing eastward with this line of storms. It is weakening very slowly. The very far southern portion of the state here by Decatur. This is where the heaviest of the storms, the strongest of the storms currently are. Numerous tornado warnings, numerous severe warnings in effect. Then further north, though, this line is, if we look here, it's kind of like just more like a blob, so to speak, of rain. We're not really seeing anything defined. Regardless, though, because of the wind shear in the atmosphere, we are seeing these severe warnings continue for 70-mile-per-hour winds. Also have a brief chance of a tornado up here in the DeKalb, Illinois area, where we could see some brief, what we call QLCS tornado, or QLCS spin-up action, very brief, very weak tornadoes like to spin up here along the leading edge of these lines. We're watching that very closely. But right now, we are getting close to Indiana, which is why we just connected you guys at Indiana Storm Chasing Network. We'll be live here for a little while. And again, if Michigan goes severe, we have to cover Michigan. That's our priority. We'll leave the stream running. We'll come back as needed. All right.
Yep, and we do have a new tornado warning now for Decatur, Illinois, which was a storm of previous interest there. Have a small but tight couplet nonetheless near Mount Zion, coming into Long Creek and Oakley.
Go ahead and take your screen, Caleb.
Yep.
We also have Chandler up there above our heads. He is chasing in the southern Illinois area back toward Indiana. He had a good visual of a wall cloud, which is the rotating part of the storm, a little bit earlier. He's repositioning out ahead of the storm, which is going to be here the Effingham, Illinois area. He'll be in that general vicinity in the next couple of minutes. But again, this is
the southern tornado warning here. He is in this location here, tracking this storm live. Again, got a couple areas of interest here. Again, we got an area of strong rotation outside the Moccasin area in southern Illinois. This one here appears to be going through a cycling process a little bit. We'll have to watch this one here. You can kind of see how it's a little bit more bowed out, but if there is an area of rotation, it would be sitting right up here at the top of this kind of bowed nature there a little bit, where you have some inflow coming in right in here, outflow. There's your couplet, close to the Findlay, Illinois area on that cell there, right in here. And then as we move a little bit north, again, have a decent couplet here outside the Long Creek area, maybe tightened up just a little bit there. We'll go ahead and switch to different products here. Again, not really seeing any indications of anything on the ground. If we were to see something on the ground, we would see kind of your deeper colors here. Everything you see in purple here is rain. Correlation coefficient is a really nice tool that we use here. It allows us to see things of different sizes in the atmosphere. Again, everything that has a uniform size, like raindrops, will appear purple and pink, everything of the same color. And then if we see anything bouncing around up there that's not raindrops or that shouldn't be up there, different sizes, we'll see that a very confined area of brighter colors, more of your pinks, purples, and blacks. But again, nothing really indication of anything on the ground at this time, which is good. Hopefully it stays that way. As we track north here, up towards the Juliet area in Chicagoland, we'll switch radars here to Chicago, to K-Lot here. Again, you can really see the gust front here, right in here. Again, looks like we have a special marine warning now issued for portions of Lake Michigan. But here's your gust front right in there, highlighted. And you can see how that extends a little bit out away from the thunderstorms as well. So, again, the severe wind risk may be out ahead of the precipitation shield a little bit as it moves in here tonight. But again, as we zoom in here, you can see we have little notches starting to show up. There's one here, one here, one here. These are what we call this one might be clear air. We're kind of out ahead of that. But this one here is what we call a QLCS spin up. So QLCS area of rotation.
North of Wilburton, we had a pretty good visual on a wall cloud in there. It was at least a wall cloud. Not sure if it was something else, but we got rotation in front of us. Everything's rotating over here. This is crazy.
And again, we have some chasers talking behind the scenes. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but that was just Chandler communicating with us his position and what he is seeing down there. Again, he's on the southern storm here. Again, very, very tight rotation here along the leading edge here. Switch radars here. We'll go. Here we go. He's near the Effingham area. Well, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. There we go. Yeah, pretty decent rotation here. Just to the north of St. Elmo, Altamont, and Effingham, right in there, south of Cowden, Stewartson, just south of you. Probably go pretty close to Stewartson here. Again, these storms are moving east-northeast at 40 to 60 miles per hour. Still have to watch this storm here. Again, decent rotation here on the north side, north of Shelbyville there, moving towards the Sullivan area. We'll have to see if they reissue that warning. It is kind of gusting out a little bit. The storm may be trying to cycle a little bit here. But as I switch radar products here, yeah, again, there's your couplet right in there. You can almost see what appears to be almost a donut hole signature near Beecher City on the backside. So that's where your area of rotation would be. So again, if a tornado is on the ground, it'd likely be rain wrapped. You're not going to see that coming. Again, actually, that is actually pretty tight. Let me switch products here just to see, make sure nothing is on the ground. Yeah, nothing in particular here. Again, these deeper colors, this is what we call clutter. Again, we're far away from the radar, so we kind of have some distortion, just limitations in technology a little bit there. But nothing that really, truly points out a tornado is in progress. But again, very tight rotation there near Moccasin, Beecher City there in southern Illinois. Again, as we look north here, again, the storms have lost a little bit of steam on the northward extent here. They're not really as pronounced as they once were in eastern Illinois, which is good. We'll have to see how that trend continues. But again, they're still producing damaging winds on the leading edge. Again, this warning, hang on. This warning is still warned for 70-mile-an-hour winds. That's a considerable tag here on these thunderstorm warnings. So again, even though they don't look impressive on radar, they really just look like rain. There is a very intense gust front on the leading edge with a considerable tag on it. And we have to look here for spin-up tornadoes as well. You can see these little notches here on the leading edge. There's one just south of Yorksville. There's one right in here. These you can see. I'll zoom in on this one in particular. A really good example here. You have a surge of air moving this way, and you have inflow moving this way, and then you have your rotation right in here, just south of Yorksville in northern Illinois. So this is where a spin-up tornado would be possible. So again, we'll have to watch for those as we move throughout the night here tonight.
Just want to bring in Chandler here real quick. Looks like I had a pretty good shot of some structure there on the center of your screen. So we're going to take him
switching
here.
Radars here as well. I'm moving towards the Evansville radar for that location.
Go ahead and take Chandler full if you want to go ahead and analyze that. We'll leave it on Chandler here. Now, Chandler is going to be in, again, we're covering South Illinois right now. These storms are approaching the Indiana border on the western edge. So we'll be tracking these for Indiana momentarily. So we'll take a look at the radar to tell you guys how close it is. But again, for you guys in the western counties of Indiana, you probably have less than an hour before you are impacted by this line of storms. Expect there to be at very least some gusty winds, perhaps severe winds, and again, potential for a couple tornadoes across this line, especially further south. But again, it can extend further north as well. So if you live in anywhere western Indiana, so Lake County, Newton County, Benton, Warren, Fountain, Vermilion, Park, Vigo, Sullivan, Knox, Gibson, and Posey, you guys are all on deck.
Yeah, and another storm just to the south of Chandler that has developed some really strong rotation. Whoa, my radar just crashed. That's great. That's fantastic.
It's not
just to the south of Vandalia area, another supercell that has intensified over the last few minutes. So we kind of have three main supercells here across southern Illinois, one near Shelbyville, Effingham, and Vandalia. The Effingham one is starting to bow out a little bit, but still has very strong rotation embedded in it.
Yeah, it looks like a nice little QLCS there heading toward Terre Haute. It's kind of congealed into a line.
Yeah, yep. Try to pull. There. No, I had it on. What is my radar doing?
Well, Caleb figures out his radar. Go ahead and take Chandler back here. So again, Chandler's in the southern Illinois area. These storms are approaching the Indiana border very quickly here. They'll be in Indiana less than an hour or so, probably less than that, probably 30 minutes for some of you guys. Even some of you guys right now could be getting some raindrops up by the Fountain, Warren, Lafayette area. Maybe seeing some lightning to your west as well.
Minutes outside of Effingham, 10 to 15 minutes, coming up 57. And there's two very distinct wall clouds to our west, highlighting the areas of rotation that you can see on radar. Very distinct wall clouds.
Okay, so tell me if you guys can hear Chandler there in the background. Should be coming through Caleb's end on his speakers. If you didn't hear that, Chandler, whose feed you have up here live, he's reporting 2 wall clouds here, and that correlates very well to the radar signatures that we're seeing. We've been pointing these 2 areas out for the past like 10 or 15 minutes, and these continue to show very intense rotation. Nothing on the ground that we see, but visually speaking, there are wall clouds here on Chandler's reports. So you're seeing it live here with us. So again, this is going to be just north of the Effingham, Illinois area with this line of storms. Go ahead and take my radar here. Go ahead and give you guys a full panel look here so it kind of makes a little bit more sense into where we're actually looking. Let's go ahead and zoom out. Let's go ahead and take my radar full. We're seeing this line of storms right here. We are from Moultrie, from Shelby down to Effingham toward Fayette. This is Illinois. This is moving to the east-northeast at about 40 to 50 miles per hour. You can see the rotation actually in the cell as it moves to the northeast. So this is a very intense storm. And again, Chandler is reporting those wall clouds there. Wall clouds are the precursor to tornadoes. So if there's going to be a tornado, it has to have a wall cloud there. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. We have Chandler here with us. We'll go ahead and take his stream back. We see movement on his stream. Again, he's on the highway trying to get ahead of this. Again, he's near the Effingham, Illinois area.
Yeah, and this tornado warning also has golf ball size hail that's also warned for, with the strongest hail core coming into Stewartson and Someway, just to the east of Beecher City there, just to the north of Effingham as well. So again, really intense hail core in this supercell as well.
The entire state of Indiana has a severe risk tonight. Doesn't matter if you're in Fort Wayne, Indianapolis, Seymour, Evansville, you have a severe risk. The risk is highest in the western part of the state as these storms arrive, and that is only because, all right, hold on, I got a new watch coming in here for Indiana. Let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. We have a new severe watch for Jasper, Lake, Newton, and Porter counties until 2 a.m. Central Time. Looks like they're extending that watch further to the east now, up to the northwest part of Indiana. So again, those are going to be a severe thunderstorm watch, not a tornado watch, so that's good news, but a severe watch for damaging winds and perhaps a brief spin-up tornado. But going back to this, the threat tonight, if you live in Indiana, you are under a severe threat tonight. And again, the risk is highest as these storms first arrive in the western part of the state here. That's because these storms are at the strongest. They'll be weakening very slowly across the state. As we can kind of see a weakening trend across Illinois, the thing is going to continue here across Indiana. So right now, Caleb, I don't know if you're looking at the radar here, but looking at the loop, we are getting rain out ahead of this line, which may actually hinder instability further as this line moves northeast. So that will also probably put a damper on things. But this line down here further south from DeWitt, Illinois, down toward Fayette, Illinois, is a very potent line. But again, regardless of where you're at in the state of Indiana, you are in a severe risk tonight, highest on the west part of the state. And again, for those of you just tuning in, we're going to be live here for a while. We have to cover Michigan as priority. So if Michigan does end up getting a warning, we'll have to drop this. We'll leave the radar running for you guys. We'll have to cover Michigan there while they have warnings as well, because that is our main priority, our main operations. We are working to full-time operations here at ISCN. We're very close to it. But unfortunately, due to staff limitations today, we have to focus on Michigan first. So we may have a little bit of a gap in our coverage coming up in the next hour or two. But for those of you watching here from Indiana, we'll have all automated warnings posted to our page with the radar left up for you guys to continue watching.
Yep, and we also have our first PDS tornado warning now for southern Illinois.
Is that Chandler Storm?
No, it's far southern.
Oh, okay, I got you now. I got you. Carbondale.
Yeah.
So
again,
that's going to be
damaging tornado, radar indicated, damage threat considerable, quarter size hail as well, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour.
Yeah, so the red boxes on your screen here are tornadic warnings that are radar indicated. The yellow boxes are severe warnings. The purple boxes indicate radar confirmed or observed tornadoes. So that's why you see these purple boxes down here in the Illinois area. So there's a radar. I was looking for the radar, found it. So again, you see all these purple boxes. The risk for tornadoes right now, for confirmed tornadoes at least, is to our south. And that's because these isolated supercells. Notice how these storms are by themselves. You have one, you have two distinct.
And this is why we
cells.
have also a PDS tornado watch in effect, including far southwest Indiana, including Missouri, Tennessee, and Kentucky, is because of the storms were expected to remain more isolated. I know we talked about that during our briefing earlier. If storms remain more isolated, the tornado risk would go up associated with them, and that is what we're seeing here. We'll have to watch these, how they trend as they approach Indiana. We're still a ways off from that. But again, we'll have to watch here. We do expect these storms to potentially grow upscale into a line, but for right now, they are remaining isolated, and thus the tornado threat is highest with them right now.
You can see the debris ball there in the bottom right of your screen. That is debris being lofted by this storm. Ooh, Chandler has a good view as well. But this is heading up into, we're going to call out Jackson County and Union County in South Illinois. You guys need to be in your shelters immediately.
Base of potential wall cloud in our camera feed right in front of us.
Yep, you're full. We got you. Oh, yeah, check that out.
Yeah, a lot of lightning with this with these storms as well. Very electric storms there. You can see the base right in front of them there. Shelf cloud, but a potential wall cloud there directly in front of them over the highway where that lowering is there above the car in front of them.
Go ahead and leave it on their screen here. We'll go ahead and watch radar here as well. Again, nothing is confirmed on the ground in the state of Illinois or Indiana for that matter, for those of you watching from Indiana. Nothing too much going on in the state just yet. That will change here in the next hour or so as these storms continue to move to the east into the state. Did I just crash out there, or did something happen?
Nope, you're still there. All good. Looks like your GR2 is no longer up.
Yeah, I crashed out there for a second. I apologize.
All right, no problem. Here's a live look at radar here. Here are the three supercells we are watching here across southern Illinois. Chandler's near the Effingham storm here. You can see the rotation here outside of Stewartson here. Kind of see right in here, maybe a couple areas of rotation there along the leading edge here. Take radar back up here. You can kind of see how it has kind of a bowed out shape to it, but again, a little bit of an inflow notch there at the top there where you could have some embedded rotation. Again, your isolated supercells further to the south do have PDS or considerable tag tornado warnings on them right now. One outside Perryville. Again, if we turn on velocity here, yeah, again, very tight rotation. Right in here, again, considerable tag on that. And then if we turn on, yeah, a lot of clutter there, very hard to see. There, you can see all these cells are isolated. They're all by themselves from Jonesboro, Arkansas, all the way up to southern Illinois. Again, your highest tornado threat are with these right in here. Again, as further north we go, we have more of a line, or what's called a QLCS. Again, damaging winds along the leading edge. It has lost a lot of its intensity, though. That was anticipated with eastward propagation here. Again, but still, damaging winds on the leading edge. In fact, let me show you this to show you the wind field on the front of this. Again, not really organized here anymore in terms of precipitation. But if you look on the leading edge, it has still a potent gust front on it, stretching all the way from Rockford, Illinois, or I guess past Rockford, Illinois, coming into the Juliet area, all the way down right in here. Again, a quite substantial gust front moving in here. And we do have a severe thunderstorm warning now for Chicago Metro. Again, it is warned for 70-mile-an-hour winds observed. So again, a very potent gust front on it. And you can see here right next to the radar, winds, yeah, very strong winds. Close to 70 miles an hour just to the south of Plainville there. And we'll have to watch that for an embedded tornado as well. Some of these notches is where spin-up tornadoes like to hide or form. And again, special marine warning there for 50 knots as well. So again, a very strong line nonetheless, despite reflectivity not really looking all that organized. And again, that's really the main story tonight, is damaging winds moving into northern Indiana with the highest tornado threat with the south, but we could have some spin-up tornadoes along that leading edge of that gust front there.
Working on a radar update for MSC, so if you want to keep on going.
Okay. Again here, storm arrival time here in Indiana really over the next hour. We'll start to see that gust front move into Indiana. Again, the worst of the gust front is sitting right in here, about a county and a half away from moving into northern Indiana, a little bit further away down to the south as these storms are kind of bowed out. Again, the greatest tornado threat right now is across southern portions of Illinois, moving into southern Indiana, where these storms were made isolated. Again, we'll have to see how that trend continues here over the next couple of hours. As we pull back velocity up here, get a look at our rotation. Again, some of it may have weakened there a little bit, but we are in between radars, so we have a radar gap here. Again, very strong rotation indicated by Illinois' radar here. And this is one of the things I don't like about radar scope that I like about Omega. Near the Effingham area, just to the north. Again, new warning, radar indicated rotation and quarter-sized hail. So the hail threat has decreased, but the tornado threat remains nonetheless. And then we go up to the north. This storm that had a rotation on it has since weakened just south of Decatur, but we do have a tornado warning remaining here for the Decatur area. They're probably going to let that expire as that rotation has decreased over the last few minutes near the Monticello area, which is great news there. But again, this area right in here, just to the west of the Sullivan area, you can see this really large comma head here. We'll have to watch for embedded rotation here. This is almost an MCV, or mesoscale convective vortex, which is a larger area of rotation there. So we'll have to watch that one very closely, as it can also propagate smaller areas of rotation out ahead of that as well. So something we'll have to watch going forward. But again, probably the best area of rotation right now is outside the Stewartson area in southern Illinois. Moving into the Neago area, Paradise, Lerna, Bradbury, Toledo, Woodbury. You guys are all on deck. Moving up to I-57 here, just to the north of the I-70 corridor here. Again, another area of rotation outside the Watson area, just south of the I-70 corridor as well. Again, embedded areas of rotation all along this line here, with the strongest outside Stewardson, near the Neago area and southern Illinois. Again, no warnings currently for the state of Indiana, but we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that has been extended to include Lake, Porter, and counties across northwest Indiana as well. We'll have to see if watches are expanded eastward here. A lot of that will depend on the intensity of these storms as they propagate eastward. Again, we're gradually losing intensity with these storms as they move into Indiana, which is good news. Hopefully that trend continues. But again, tornado watch is still in effect for western Indiana, including a PDS tornado watch for southwest Indiana, which are counties right in here, just to the south of Terre Haute, including Evansville area as well, under a PDS tornado watch, a particularly dangerous situation. Again, particularly eyeing these isolated supercells here across southern Illinois as they move in. Again, they do have a history of producing tornadoes, and we'll have to watch that trend very closely. And switch back to radar scope here. I'm actually going to, again, very tight rotation here, just to the south of Decatur, Illinois, moving near the Lovington area. In fact, I'm going to turn on correlation coefficient here to see. There might be a little something here. This is just clutter. It's way back in Timbuktu. But we'll have to see if there's something on the ground here near Lovington. Again, very, very tight rotation there.
A severe watch is incoming, or likely incoming, for Southwest Michigan in the next hour or two.
Again, that's as these storms progress eastward, they're going to bring that severe risk with them. So we'll likely see some watch extensions as well. So
that's going to include northern Indiana as well, from about Kokomo up to the Michigan border. It says ongoing risk for damaging winds warrants consideration for a new weather watch. A watch is likely at 80%. It says latest model guidance shows only weak instability across south lower Michigan and northern Indiana, but very strong flow wind aloft exist ahead of the advancing system. As such, given dry air across the region providing evaporative potential, it appears locally damaging winds remain possible with the advancing band of storms now crossing into Illinois. So they are considering a watch here, likely going to issue one in the next hour or two. Well, actually, the way they've been issuing these tonight, they issued the discussion for it. About 5 minutes later, they issue the watch. It happened twice already. So I would not be shocked the next 5 or so minutes, or very shortly, we'll end up with another watch here for Northern Indiana and perhaps a watch for Southwest Michigan.
Yeah, again, right now there are currently no severe thunderstorm warnings for Indiana. We do have a special marine warning in effect, which is very close to the IWX jurisdiction here for Lake Michigan. But again, severe thunderstorm warnings do include the Chicago metro area up to the Indiana state line across northeast Illinois. So we'll have to watch that very, very closely here. Again, the strongest storms right now are across southern Illinois with several areas of rotation here with the strongest. New update here. Right in here, very, very strong rotation here, just to the south of Neago, just outside Siegel, Illinois. Very, very strong rotation. Right in here, I believe that is just outside, right on top of I-57 here. Look at that rotation there. Very, very strong. It's just to the south of Neaga. Again, I'm going to turn on correlation coefficients here. Again, not really seeing much there. Could be clutter. But again, we'll have to watch that very, very closely for a debris signature there, just because our rotation is fairly tight at that location. And if we move back down south, I have to switch radars again. Again, very tight rotation here across southern Illinois, moving into the, looks like Pinckneyville in southern Illinois, DeQuoin, Eckville, DeSoto, and I believe Mercy Soro. If I butchered that, I apologize. But again, extremely strong rotation near Old Appleton here. In fact, let's turn on correlation coefficient. Again, very, very hard to tell. Again, we're far away from radar. But again, very strong rotation here on these supercells as well. And these are all moving east-northeast towards southern Indiana over the next couple of hours. Again, we'll have to see what the intensity of these are as they approach the Indiana-Illinois border. Again, we're starting to see some upscale growth, meaning they're starting to consolidate more into a line or a QLCS. So that'll probably bring the damaging wind risk up and bring the intense tornado risk down. But again, a tornado risk is still likely with a lot of these storms with the wind shear that we have in place here tonight. Again, PDS Tornado Watch is in effect for southern Illinois or southern Indiana as well, which stands for particularly dangerous situation. And a regular tornado watch is in effect for west central Indiana, with a severe thunderstorm watch for northwest Indiana, with a severe thunderstorm watch likely for most of northern Indiana, including southwest lower Michigan over the next probably 30 minutes or so.
Do me a favor, Caleb, on your scope, go to the settings and turn your font size to the max.
Go to
bottom left should be, and it should be on the bottom. It should say text size or text font or something like that. There you go.
There we go. You guys can probably see that a little bit better.
Yeah, if you live in the state of Indiana, be concerned in the event, or should I say, if you live in the state of Indiana, you are in a risk tonight for damaging winds, and especially on the western half of the state as these storms approach currently. Again, the risk for a couple of tornadoes as well does exist. The risk is highest across southern Illinois currently, from roughly about the Indianapolis area on south. We could see that extend just a little bit further north, but generally speaking, damaging winds is going to be the primary concern here through the evening. And again, tornadoes definitely a possibility, especially further south where better instability lies, as well as better storm coverage is.
Yeah, but again, we do have severe thunderstorm warnings up to the Indiana-Illinois border across northwest Indiana and northeast Illinois. But again, our main squall line of damaging winds is coming into the Juliet area now. So they're issuing these warnings well in advance to trying to give you as much lead time as possible, as the storm has a history of producing damaging winds with observed 70 miles per hour measurements as well. So again, very potent system here with very, very strong winds associated with it. So we'll have to watch that very, very closely. Again, we have very intense supercells across southern Illinois. Let me switch radars here again. Really just in between radars here across southern Illinois. But again, very tight rotation here coming into the Carbondale area in southern Illinois. Yeah, not really one radar that takes control over another. We're just kind of in between radars here. Strongest rotation across south central Illinois, is north of the Effingham area, between Effingham and Charleston, Illinois. Have some very, very tight rotation just to the north of the I-70 corridor, moving in the direction of Terre Haute. So something we'll have to watch very, very closely. Again, switch back here, and you can kind of see the kink or comma head there just outside the Niagara area, near the Lerna area, south of Paradise. Let me turn on velocity here. Yeah, very, very tight rotation now, just past the I-57 corridor. Let's turn on correlation coefficient. Maybe a little something there, very hard to tell with the amount of distortion and clutter here. In fact, let me circle that area there of interest and switch back to velocity. Again, just south of the main area of rotation, but nonetheless, still warned for radar indicated rotation, a very strong rotation at that, moving towards the Lerna area, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. So again, a very fast moving storm here. And again, another area of rotation outside the Bourbon area, just north, is currently not tornado warned at this point in time. But again, a couple areas of embedded rotation where those red and greens come together as well, near the Bement area, as well as the Arthur area near Bourbon, moving northeast at, I assume, as well the same speed, around 50 miles an hour. So again, multiple areas of interest tonight. Again, spin-up tornadoes, damaging winds, all possible as these storms move into western Indiana over the next hour. Again, let's zoom back in here. This storm here probably has my greatest concern right now, as well as near the Bement area. Again, very, very tight rotation, a lot smaller of a signature, but tight nonetheless. Let me put in correlation coefficient. Yeah, nothing real strongly indicating a tornado on the ground there. Yeah, same thing goes for this storm here. A lot of clutter here as well. Let me switch radars here just to check here. Yeah, that's the problem with being further away from the radars. Again, our radar beam here is 6,000 to 8,000 feet in the air, so we're really far off the ground. So we're not getting the best interpretation of what is happening on the ground, being further away from the radar. So just limitations in technology and with the Earth's curvature as well. Think of a straight beam and the Earth is curved. So straight beam, further you are, the higher you are in elevation. So that is what's going on radar there. But tight rotation nonetheless definitely meets the criteria for a tornado warning, according with your inbounds and outbounds. Again, greens are winds towards the radar, reds are winds away from the radar, and where those two meet, that is your area of rotation. And then you can see your gust front right in here. And again, kind of a backhead, comma head here with your inflow notch, your inbounds and outbounds, with perhaps another little area of rotation near the Batun area as well. So again, lots of volatility in the atmosphere tonight, lots of spin. But the good news is we are seeing a gradual weakening trend as these storms move into Indiana, and we pray that continues. But again, a very dangerous situation tonight across Illinois and Missouri as well. So again, not a situation to take lightly. These storms have a history of producing not just tornadoes, but also damaging winds in excess of 70 miles an hour. Again, we'll turn back reflectivity here. So some light rain starting to move into Indiana here. But again, your main gust front or your damaging wind swath is still off into Illinois. Again, severe thunderstorm warnings are up to the state line now across northeast Illinois, including the Chicago metro. Again, Kankakee, Juliet, Gary, or I guess not Gary, not yet. Again, we do have a new tornado warning probably for that area of rotation I just talked about. Let me switch radars here. Go back to central Illinois. Yep, for that one right there. Tornado. Yeah, radar indicated tornado with quarter-size hail as well. So again, let's go ahead and turn back to CC to see if we see anything there. Nothing real definitive, just some clutter and distortion. If we were to see a debris ball, we would see a really tight circle of really deep blue and perhaps black colors there, all consolidated with the rotation. Not really seeing that, which is good. But nonetheless, again, our radar is very high in the air, so if something is on the ground, it may take a few scans for us to be able to see that debris signature on radar. But again, you can really see what's really classic QLCS setup where you have a kink in the line there. Right in there, there's your inflow notch. And then you have some winds coming out right in here with your backward comma head right in there. So again, a very kinky situation, a very volatile situation.
Never use that word again, Caleb.
Yeah, I was just thinking kinky isn't not a good description, but
Kidding, obviously, kidding.
yeah. Official meteorological term for QLCS mesovorticity is kinky. Okay, that's the non-jargon
It's
way
true.
of saying rotation. Kinky, right? So again, lots of kinks. I'm never gonna think of that word the same now. Thanks. I can't say it pronouncedly either now. But again, area of rotation moving towards the Charleston area, just to the north of Toledo here. Again, we'll turn back to velocity here. The strongest area of rotation, here's I-70 right here between Marshall and Toledo. Again, very, very tight rotation just to the south of Paradise. Again, that is, I believe, I-57 here. Yeah, moving north and south. Again, very, very tight rotation just to the east of Neaga, moving towards the Bradbury area, Lerner area. Again, extremely tight rotation here. Again, be in your safe place. Again, this is moving towards the Terre Haute area, perhaps going just north. But again, these areas of rotation may shift north or south before they reach Indiana. But again, we are consolidating more into a line. A lot of these storms started as individual supercells, but have since grown upscale into a line, which is what was expected here tonight. Again, tornado watches in yellow here across western Indiana, severe thunderstorm watches in pink, and then we do have a special marine warning here over the next hour for any watercraft for strong damaging winds moving over the lake. So again, lots of moving parts, a very dynamic system, a very volatile system as well. Damaging winds, tornado, all on the table here for western Indiana over the next hour or so. Again, we currently have a couple tornado warnings here, just a few counties away from Indiana. Again, with the strongest area of rotation just to the west of Terre Haute, near the Charleston, Illinois area, near the I-57, I-70 corridor there. The strongest area of rotation just south of Mattoon, Illinois, outside Paradise there. A pretty strong area of rotation right in there. You can kind of see that right in here where you have your inbounds, outbounds right there, and where they meet right in here is that what we call a TVS or tornadic velocity signature there. That's kind of what we're looking at there, which is your area of rotation. As we pull up correlation coefficient, oh, that's concerning. A possible tornado on the ground now just east of I-57 near Paradise. Again, that is what you don't want to see there. And again, as we pull up velocity, matches perfectly with your couplet there. So possible tornado on the ground just east of I-57 in Illinois. Again, this is for, I believe, southwestern Coles County and east central Illinois, southeastern Shelby County and central Illinois, and Cumberland County and east central Illinois, as well as northern Effingham County and south central Illinois. Again, likely tornado on the ground here now, as we do have what appears to be a debris signature on radar. Like I said, it takes a few scans to let that debris catch up on radar, as our radar beam is high on the ground. So it could have been on the ground a few minutes ago. We're just now seeing the debris from that. But again, likely tornado on the ground now in central Illinois, just to the east of Paradise, coming into Lerna. So again, Lerna, Charleston, Hutton, Ashmore, Westfield, get to your safe places. Again, likely tornado in progress here, as we do have what appears to be a debris ball or debris signature on radar, or TDS, tornado debris signature, which correlates really nicely with velocity here. Again, right in the center of that couplet there where your inbounds and outbounds meet. That is where your tornado is. And again, you're likely not going to see this tornado here's your rain. It's back behind the rain. So you're not going to see this tornado coming. Don't look for it. Be in your safe place. Again, this is a rain-wrapped tornado in progress across central Illinois. We do have what appears to be a very well-defined tornado debris ball on radar. So this is a confirmed tornado on the ground now outside the Paradise area.
Confirmed observed warning, by the way.
Yep, they updated the warning now to a confirmed tornado warning. Again, radar confirmed tornado here. As you can see, the debris ball here just to the east of I-57, moving north and east at likely 50 to 60 miles an hour. So again, tornado on the ground here, moving towards the Charleston, Illinois area. Again, a very, very pronounced debris ball as well. Right there. So here's Lerna right here. Here's I-57. And then here's Paradise here. So Paradise, you guys are in the clear. But again, Lerna in areas points northeastward, getting your safe place now as the tornado is on the ground, moving towards the Charleston area, close to State Road 16 there.
So go ahead and call out some other roads here. I see the town or townships of Jones, Newby, and Lerna. Campbell, Charleston is a major population center there. Loxa, also Embarrass. There's a town in Illinois called Embarrass, apparently. Houghton, Ashmore, Fairgrange, and Bushton. You guys, the ones I just listed, are outside of the warnings. Actually, here comes a new watch coming in shortly. Berrien, Branch, Cass, Hillsdale, St. Joseph of Michigan, as well as pretty much the entire northern part of Indiana. Adams, Allen, Blackford, Cass, DeKalb, Elkhart, Fulton, Grant, Huntington, Jay, Kosciuszko, LaGrange, LaPorte, Marshall, Miami, Noble. I can go on. There's more. Pretty much the entire state.
All of northern Indiana.
Essentially. Yeah. But with this is tornado, though. Charleston, you're not in the warning. You likely will be in a warning here momentarily. Lerna, Newby, along the roads of Lerner Road. Talking about the County Road 450 and then County Road 1000 East.
Yep, again, this is going to move near the town of Lerna, heading pretty much right towards Charleston, Illinois. So again, Charleston, Illinois, Lerna, Hutton, be in your safe place right now. Interior room, lowest level of your home, stairwell, bathroom, be in there. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Again, tornado is in progress. Tornado is on the ground. It is a rain-wrapped tornado moving northeast at 50 to 60 miles an hour. A very fast-moving system here. So again, be in your safe place now. This is an observed tornado. Tornado is on the ground here, just to the east of I-57 here in central Illinois.
We're about probably a half hour away from our first severe thunderstorm warnings in the state of Indiana. We're probably about an hour or so away from our first in Michigan. Excuse me.
Yep.
But again, new watch in effect here for pretty much the entire northern half of the state of Indiana. And then for Michigan, again, Berrien, Branch, Cass, Hillsdale, and St. Joseph County until 9 a.m.
Yep, and we do have a couple new tornado warnings that popped up that come up to the state line of Indiana, including the city of Champaign, Illinois, Fishers, Rantoul, Villa Grove, and Homer. All for these QLCS spin-ups here. You can really see where the rotation is on radar. You got one here. Again, you have a backwards comma head here with a tornado in progress. Turn back to velocity here. There, you can really see those couplets there. Again, tornado in progress down here. And then another area of rotation here and a stronger area of rotation, which has just developed here over the last few minutes outside the Monticello area as well. So again, a very volatile night here across Illinois. And again, these storms will have to be watched very closely as they move into western Indiana here, really over the next hour or so. And another possible area of QLCS rotation right up here, just south of Gibson City there, starting to see some rotation on radar there, just north of Fisher, right in there. Foosland, I believe, right in there. So again, back to our observed tornado warning here to the south. Let me switch radars here. Again, we're kind of really just in between radars here. But as we switch back to correlation coefficients, yeah, still a debris ball on radar here. Again, just north of Lerna, moving towards the Charleston area here. So again, a very dangerous supercell here. Again, it looks like rotation may have weakened a little bit, but again, a debris ball still is on radar. So again, there is still debris in the air. Whether the tornado has lifted or not, I couldn't tell you. But right now, an observed tornado warning is still in effect with a debris ball on radar. So again, be in your safe place in Charleston, Hutton, Westfield, Kansas. Again, get to your safe place, interior room, basement. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible.
Taylor, did you hear that on your end?
I did not hear anything on my end.
Okay.
What was said?
Our alert bar popped up and actually talked. Oh, there it is. Again. That's sweet.
Nope, I did not hear it. But that is pretty sweet, though.
Yeah, check the stream op chat.
No, that's cool. Again, severe thunderstorm warning is now including pretty much the entire Illinois-Indiana state line now from points Terre Haute northward here. We currently do not have any severe thunderstorm warnings in the state of Indiana, but they'll likely be issued here over the next probably 10 to 15 minutes here as this line of storms progresses eastward at 50 to 60 miles an hour here. So pretty much on par with that 1 to 2 a.m. time frame here, closer to the 1 a.m., I guess 1:30 time frame as these storms moving into Indiana here. Again, The highest risk for tornadoes is across the southern part of the line here at this time. But again, the tornado risk extends all up and down this line as you can have spin-up tornadoes along the leading edge here. We'll go back and turn on velocity here, and we'll show you what I mean here. You can see all these areas of embedded circulations here from Monticello, Atwood, Arcola, Charleston, just outside of Casey as well. So again, a very volatile situation here, and perhaps just to the east of Effingham there. Again, we're kind of limited by radar in this area as well, so we're not getting the best interpretation of what is occurring near the surface as our radar beams are 6,000 to 8,000 feet in the air. But again, lots of rotation embedded within these thunderstorms as well. But these there's your gust front here looking to the north. Again, you can really see your line of strong winds now. Getting ready to move into Chicago Metroland, Maywood, Addison, LaGrange Park. You guys are seeing the stronger winds moving in right now. Again, Kankakee moving into you here in the next few minutes, as well as looks like Otto, Clifton, and Danforth as well over the next few minutes as well. But Lake, Porter counties, Rensselaer, Terre Haute, you guys are on deck here over the next probably the 30 to 50 minutes here as these storms approach Indiana and move into the state. Again, we have warnings all the way up to Madison, Wisconsin, too, for damaging winds, special marine warnings as well for Lake Michigan, for any boaters or shipping ships that are out there as well. So again, very volatile night here across the state of Illinois and Indiana. And once we do have a severe thunderstorm warning issued for Michigan, we will have to pop out and cover Michigan. Michigan does take priority here tonight, but we will leave a radar stream up here for Indiana, and we will come back as we can. And we'll go ahead and check on our observed tornado warning here. Let's go ahead and pull up a correlation coefficient here. Yeah, still a little bit of debris fallout here. But again, your centralized debris ball is really hard to see. So maybe some good indications there if perhaps the tornado has lifted. But again, debris is still in the air, so one could still be on the ground. We're really just in a bad position here in terms of radars. We're in between Evansville, central Illinois, and Indianapolis. So not really getting a very good interpretation at all on these storms, as they're just in a very poor area of radar coverage here, a radar gap, as we like to call it here. But again, tornado warning still in progress for areas of strong rotation across central Illinois. Moving into east or western Indiana here over the next 30 to 40 minutes here. Switch radars back here. Again, good news is looks like rotation has broadened out a little bit on our observed warning here coming into the Charleston area. Still perhaps could have some areas of rotation here just outside of Charleston there where those reds and greens kind of meet right in here. And again, outside the Hutton area as well, kind of elongated here. More zonal winds or linear winds moving north to south along the leading edge, but we could still have a spin-up tornado embedded in there as well. Perhaps an area of stronger rotation right in here on the south end. Again, we have a really decent couplet here outside the Monticello area, just south of Urbana, near the I-57 corridor here, coming into Philo, Villa Grove, area of rotation right in here as well. Again, these two storms here. Again, for reference, the Indiana border is right in here where my mouse is. Again, no severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings in the state of Indiana, but we do have a severe thunderstorm watch now, which is all these areas in pink here, which includes all of northern Indiana's territory here. Jay, Blackford County, Grant County, and areas northward. Does not include Kokomo and Howard County here, areas just northward here, but it does include the city of Logansport, Fort Wayne, Auburn, South Bend, Portage, and does include southwest lower Michigan. It does not include Kalamazoo or Jackson, but it does include Berrien County all the way over to Hillsdale County, Michigan as well. Again, damaging winds, primary threat up here with an isolated spin-up tornado possible as well. Sorry about the break there and talking, just kind of a lot of things going on here behind the scenes and communication from our chasers as well as staff here behind the scenes.
Yeah, as Caleb mentioned before, too, once Michigan gets close to becoming severe, we're going to have to switch operations as that is our full-time state. Again, we're working on getting full-time towards Indiana. Caleb is our guy for Indiana, but unfortunately, due to staff limitations with chasers out in the field, a couple of us sick, on vacation, we are going to have to switch operations to Michigan if and when a severe warning does get issued for Michigan, or at least gets close. So we will leave radar running on Indiana when that time comes. I just want to give you guys a heads up now before we get too deep into the Indiana coverage. And if Michigan does not do much at all, we'll cover Indiana all night. So,
yeah, and we do have re-intensifying area of rotation right over the Charleston area in Illinois, coming into the Kansas and Oakland area. Again, a very large area of tightening rotation here. So not what you want to see. Again, this system likely cycled or went through a brief weakening phase and is now starting to re-intensify again as it moves towards Indiana.
Try to reconnect yourself, Caleb. You're getting really choppy and robotic. Plus, it's on my end.
You guys hear me okay? On my end, I'm not freezing or anything, but it could be a streamer thing too.
Let us know if it's a us problem or a me problem or a universal problem.
Otherwise, I'll come back in real quick.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and go ahead and reconnect, Caleb. Wait for him to come back in. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Give him 1 second. He'll be back in. To the left of me, we have Chandler in Illinois chasing these storms. He's trying to get ahead of these storms. They're moving pretty quick. Oops, there we go.
Yep. Can you hear me a little bit better now?
Keep talking.
Test 1 2 1 2 test.
Yeah, you sound good now.
Probably a StreamYard connectivity thing.
Yeah.
But again, yeah, area of height and rotation just outside the Charleston area now, just on the east side of town. Again, this storm is re-intensifying as it moves towards Indiana. Areas around Terre Haute, Clinton, Indiana, be on deck for this storm as it is moving east-northeast at 50 to 60 miles an hour, including Paris, Illinois as well. Again, this is a re-intensifying embedded supercell here that has a history of producing tornadoes. It did have a tornado on the ground, possibly briefly lifted before Charleston, but is now showing signs of re-intensification, as well as an intensifying storm near Champaign, Illinois. Again, a couple areas of rotation up there as well. So a very volatile night here as these storms approach the Indiana state line.
We have a marine warning now to Berrien County.
Okay. With that being said, we're probably going to have to switch ops here, guys. We'll go ahead and leave radar up here, radar running for you. But again, we are going to have to, unfortunately, switch operations into Michigan as that is our primary state of coverage.
All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to run Chandler and radar side by side. I'll go ahead and leave. Oh, boy. How are we going to do this? I got an idea. We're going to get a secondary device to run radar here. So give me 1 second. Now, again, if Michigan does not do much tonight, we'll be back on here covering these storms as they move across Indiana. We'll leave Chandler and his stream up there as well as radar for you guys too. So let me go ahead and pull up my back-end radar software here. Okay. Give it 1 second to load up for me. Do you guys want me to focus on the central part of the state, northern part of the state, or the southern part of the state? Let me know. We can take the Indianapolis radar. We can take the North Indianapolis radar. Probably just do Indianapolis, honestly. Probably be a little bit easier for all of you guys. All right, you should be seeing my screen here on the computer there. There we go. So again, yellow counties are going to be your severe warnings, reds are tornado warnings, and then purples are confirmed warnings. And with that being said, we are going to leave Chandler and radar dual boxed here for you guys to look at. We'll make the radar here a little bit bigger. Give me 1 second. We can do it a couple different ways, actually. Let's just try this. There we go. Let's try and work it that way. All right. So we're going to leave the stream just like that. And Caleb and I are going to get ready for Michigan coverage here in the next half hour or so. So with that being said, Caleb, do you want to outro this or what?
Whatever you want to do is fine with me.
Okay, I'll get this plugged into a power source here.
Yeah, so again, guys, Michigan is our priority state of coverage. Unfortunately, due to the staffing limitations, we cannot be live for Indiana and Michigan at the same time. We will leave this stream up with radar coverage here. You guys can keep an eye on the radar and any warnings that are issued here in correlation to your location in the state of Indiana. But unfortunately, we are going to have to switch operations to Michigan Storm Chasers here momentarily here, as that is our primary state of coverage. Again, if nothing really evolves in Michigan or the threat dies off, we will jump back in here to cover Indiana as needed and as we are available to do so.
And going forward in the future as well, we're working to get Indiana full-time just like Michigan is. So hopefully this won't happen too often this year. We'll work on that and get that up and rolling for you guys. But again, radar's here. You got Chandler there in the top right. He's coming into the western part of Indiana now. But with that being said, I believe, Caleb, we are good to pop out of here.
Yep. All right. Stay safe. Have multiple ways to receive warnings tonight in Indiana, as damaging wind gusts of 60 to 70 miles per hour and spin-up tornadoes are all on the table here tonight, with the highest probabilities across western Indiana. And again, as the severe thunderstorm watch has been expanded to include all of northern Indiana now, does not include Kokomo, but Logansport, Marion, you guys are all in a severe thunderstorm watch and points northward. Again, tornado watches now for the western area of the state, including a PDS tornado watch for southern Indiana as well, which stands for a particularly dangerous situation. Again, multiple tornado warnings near Champaign, Illinois, and points southward. Again, Terre Haute, Vincennes, you guys are all on deck. Have a way to receive warnings tonight for tornadoes and damaging winds. Again, we'll pop in as we are available to do so. But again, Michigan does take priority. So unfortunately, with a heavy heart, we do have to pop out of here and jump into.
All right. So with that being said, if you guys want to pop over to Michigan coverage, we'll probably pop into Indiana occasionally and kind of check around the region too. So you're more than welcome to pop over and watch us for Michigan. We'll be covering that as well. We'll probably peek into Indiana for you guys if you want to pop over there as well. So anyway, with that being said, appreciate you guys watching, and we will see you guys hopefully in a short while.